Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to the Admissions and Global Leadership Programme webinar today. We hope you have been enjoying the virtual open day, and this is one of our last webinars for our MSc side. And this webinar is really going to just focus on kind of applying to the school. And then if you do apply, maybe an extracurricular program that you might partake in is our GLP program. Just to introduce ourselves, my name is Laura. I'm one of the admissions managers at the school. I'm also joined by another missions manager, my colleague Carol Deering. Hi, Carol.
Hi everyone.
And we're also joined by Peter Conlon, who is our Global Leadership Program Manager. Hi, Peter.
Hey everyone.
Great. Just to start off with, so we're going to start off with the admissions part first of all. So we'll talk you through kind of just a little bit about the school, the different master programs that we have, if you are thinking of applying, and then we'll just do just a kind of short question and answer, and then I'll hand over to Peter. But if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, you can post them in the Q&A, and we'll have a live Q&A at the end, which will go through all your questions then. And then if you do have any other questions, we'll be able to answer them then. Just to start, just a little bit about the school. So we are UCD Smurfit Business School. We're Ireland's leading and top-ranked business school. So we have the Triple Crown accreditation, and we have programs ranked within the Financial Times and Economist. So when you get a master's from Smurfit, it is a recognised master program, which, you know, in terms then of like looking for jobs and careers, will really stand to you. But when you are looking for your master program, we do have over 20 at the school. So it is really important to think about your career and what you'd like to do. We have a wide range of programs in finance, marketing, consulting, management, accounting. So there's lots of there to choose from. But really what today is about is to try and think about what you'd like to do in terms of your career, and then to kind of get information about the programs. And we have all our webinars recorded today that will go through all the master programs too, and you'll be able to view them next week when we release them as well. So do make sure you do your research, because there are lots of programs here at the school for you to pick from. We do only have one intake every year, so they start September every year. So we're currently taking applications for this September 2026. So if you're maybe not in final year yet, you've another year to go, if you're applying for 2027, you will just need to wait a little bit longer. So we open our applications on the 1st of October every year for the following year. So if you are applying for this year, we are accepting applications at the moment, but if you're thinking next year, you just have to wait until the 1st of October. Within the school as well, so we're established for over 30 years as a business school in MSc programs and MBA, and we do have a global alumni network. And this year we have students from over 60 different countries at our school. So there really is a fantastic alumni network of students who have done the program and who are now out in the workforce as well. At Smurfit, we do have a careers team who work with our MSc students. So there's a wide range of career events that we run. There's advice with your CV, and there's lots of career supports while you're here at Smurfit, and they are dedicated to the MSc students. So it's not just a university, it's for the MSc students that are studying business, and they're also based on our campus here at Smurfit as well. And they're here to support you whilst you're a student and when you're looking for a job as well. So there is a really important focus on careers. So as I mentioned there, when you're looking at an MSc program, you are thinking about your job, what type of career you'd like, what type of role you'd like to work at. So there is a careers support system here at Smurfit, because it is important after your MSc program to make sure that you're kind of getting into a job and a role that you would want to do straight after your master program. And then we also have our Global Leadership Programme, which Peter is going to talk about just in a little bit as well. And we do really recommend this. It's a fantastic programme that you can take whilst you're studying at Smurfit as a student. So here are all the programs. So you might have been to some of the webinars today into these programs, but this is kind of a good starting point if you're not sure, and it's available on the website under the MSc programs. And it basically it's just an outline of all the master programs and kind of what are you eligible for. So as you can see here, if you're studying business, there's pretty much most of the programs you can apply for. The only one is management, because that's actually a program that's specifically for students that haven't studied studied business. But like if you haven't studied business, it's actually okay to apply for a lot of the programs. With the programs like finance, you do need to have quants and you do have to have maths and statistics in your undergrad degree, but over 60% of our students won't come from business undergrad. So there are lots of opportunities at the school if you haven't studied business before to apply to the programs. In terms of the entry criteria, each one is slightly different. So the best way to kind of check the entry criteria is to go onto the website and to go into each of the programs, and it will tell you exactly what the requirements are. But the minimum kind of academic requirement is what we call a 2-1 honours in your undergrad degree. But as I mentioned there, like it doesn't have to be specifically in business. So this is a really good starting point. So you can have a look at what you're studying now and then the type of master's programs that we have available. Also, I suppose just to kind of highlight as well, there are over 20 of them, so it's really important to make sure that you research it. So go into the website, go into each of the modules, you can actually click into them and it'll tell you exactly what you're going to learn, how it's assessed. So if there's a group project, if it's an exam, if it's continuous assessment. So there's lots of information for you there to kind of make an informed decision on your master's. But really, what you really first of all need to think about when you're picking your master's is what type of job and career you want. So slightly different to your undergrad, you nearly have to work backwards. So you think about your job first, like what is it exactly that you would like to do, and then work backwards. So it's really important to think about kind of the job and then to look at the program, and is it going to give you, you know, the skill set and the knowledge to get to that career that you'd like. Because the master's is an investment, so it's really important that you do your research and take the time to decide which master's is the right one for you. And just in terms of these master programs, so as I mentioned, we run masters every September. There's only one intake, and we do offer them full time, so that's in person in the college. There are opportunities to take some of the master programs part time over 2 years, and then we have specific online courses in management online and project management online, and they're both part time programs, but they're completely online. And then the rest of the programs are in person in the Michael Smurfit Business School. So that's kind of just an overview of all the masters. And we will have recordings of today of each of the sessions that we ran in correspondence to the master program. So really important is think about your career, what you want to do, and then secondly, do your research. So have a look at kind of what exactly you're going to learn on the program, and like how the program is assessed. Is it group work, project work? And then if you do decide then that you would like to study with us, the next thing is to make an application. So as I mentioned at the start, we open applications every year on the 1st of October. So we've already been open around 6 months for this intake. So it is kind of coming towards the end of this recruitment. And so if you are thinking of applying, rather sooner than later, because a lot of the programs are nearly full. So if you are applying, you apply directly online. And we do need your documents. So your documents are your official academic transcripts and a CV. There's 2 essay questions that you need to complete. And if you've researched the programme and thought about your career, you'll be able to answer those questions. And we do also require 2 references. So they can be academic or they can be work references. And then you just need to submit the application and pay the application fee of €70. And then what happens is it will come to our team. So Carol and I work in the missions team. So it will come to us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So we do receive a high volume of applications, but we do get back to everybody. And that is kind of the application side of things. But as I mentioned there, we have been taking applications for the last 6 months. So if you are thinking about September, it is very late. So just make sure you submit an application as soon as you kind of decide if you'd like to do the masters this year. Just before I hand over to Peter, we'll just run through just some questions. So as I can see already, we're getting some questions in. And these are kind of what we get asked quite a lot in admissions. So as I put up on the screen there are over 20 MSc programs, so you might want to apply for more than one. So we kind of say no more than 2 or 3 applications, just because we want you to really make sure that you've really researched them and you know what you want to do. So maybe you might be looking at one of the 4 marketing programs, you might want to apply for 2 of them. So you can apply for more than one course under the same application fee. And what you do is you can just preference them. So what's your first and second preference? I have kind of said it a few times, but it is really important if you are thinking of applying, apply as soon as you can for this year. If it's next year, you can wait until the 1st of October to apply for next year. We do have scholarships at the school. They are really competitive, but they are all listed on the website. So you can filter, what scholarships you're eligible for on our website, and it's really comprehensive and it gives you all the information of the starting, opening and closing dates as well. And there are some that have closed already, so it's really important to just make sure that you research those scholarships and apply for any ones that you need to. A lot of them you're automatically considered for once you make an MSc application to the school. If you do get an offer or a conditional offer from the admissions team, you do have to accept your place by paying a non-refundable deposit. So do make sure that you have, if you do get an offer, just to make sure that you don't miss the deadline in paying, and it is a non-refundable deposit to secure that place. We don't have specific closing dates. It's done on a rolling basis. So as I mentioned there, just make sure that you don't kind of leave it too late to apply. If you have made an application and you're just wondering about the status, you can log back in at any time and look at the status of your application, and you can follow kind of your journey with the admissions team. But as I said there as well, like there is kind of a high volume of applications, but we do get back to everybody. If you are submitting an application, really important things to remember are your CV. We need your official transcript. So they need to say for all years that you've studied, right from first year, what you've studied in terms of modules and your grades. And we also need to have your two references as well. And if you are applying and you need an English language test, you can apply without that first, and then we can give you a condition on getting an English language test if that is a requirement. And then just entry criteria for the programs. So each program has different entry criteria. So it's important to go onto the Smurfit School website, go into each of the programs and see what the entry criteria is, because they're slightly different per program. But if you do have any other questions, please do post them in the Q&A. We'll answer them at the end of this webinar. So that's all from the admissions side. So I'm going to hand over now to my colleague, Peter.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Hello, everyone. I'll bring up slides in a moment, but I'll speak just directly first. Obviously, when you come to business school, your primary purpose is to do your selected master's program. All your scheduled classes, all your assignments, all your exams and assessment are focused on that goal to get your master's degree. And obviously, many different business schools offer that. But that whole master's program side is known as the curricular program. But alongside that, we have a co-curricular program, and that's where I come in. So I'm Peter Conlon, and I manage and lead the co-curricular program at the Smurfit School. It's called the GLP, or Global Leadership Program. We love acronyms here. And it's an entirely optional program, and it's focused on, well, two things really. One is getting you ready for your desired workplace, and two, helping you get into that desired workplace. And so it's an opt-in program. There's no exams, there's no tests. So you can do as much or as little as you like. And it really helps you upskill and get yourself ready for the workplace. And I've got some slides here, which will give you a little bit more of a flavor of that. This is right, yes, it is. There we go, that's a slide. Yes. And so, yes. To our knowledge, no other business school has an extensive co-curricular program as we have. And we often refer to our co-curricular program as the Smurfit Advantage, because it really is a unique selling point of the school. And it's a real value add if you come to join us. Now, it does have a framework, because this is a business school and we always have frameworks and we love them. But don't get hung up on it too much. I would just draw your attention to that there are three verticals here: student initiative, workplace skills, and career planning. And really central to it is the workplace skills one. The others are very important too. But what it is about is making sure that you're as ready as you can be for your workplace. You'll do much better in interviews if you're more workplace ready. And then if you are successful in interview and you do get the desired position, then you'll be more able to take on the responsibilities of your professional role. So we have a range of events and sessions and trainings, and also competitions and other things, which you can join if you wish, or just join as the audience members if you wish. And the next few slides, I'll just give you a flavor of some of the highlights. But by no means is this an exhaustive run through. This is more of just an illustrative view of what we've been doing over the last few years and will be continuing to do. Sometimes we have sessions delivered by me or by other members of our academic or professional team at Smurfit. Sometimes we get external consultants in to deliver sessions. One such session is time and task management essentials, and we run that several times, and that really helps you know how to prioritize your work, manage your time, which is important for basically your life as well as your professional work. And so that's typical of the kind of things we offer in GLP. If you opt in and sign up, you're effectively put on a mailing list. And you're on a mailing list of loads of good stuff that if you want to, you can join them. If you want to, you can ignore them all as well. It's entirely up to you. So this is one session, the time task management. Another one, which I deliver, was on effective presentation, how to be able to stand up and communicate to a group of people, large or small, and do so effectively. We have two big competitions every year, both of them run by the GLP. On the left, you have the advert competition, and on the right, we have the case competition. The case advert competition is held every year in February, and where student teams are invited to form, and they then produce an advert, normally for the school, but to a particular theme. And then there's a whole assessment process for that. That's an exciting competition. And then the case competition is obviously rather more easily understood. And that's an even bigger competition, which happens every March. And we encourage people to, if they can, participate in teams. But if they don't want to participate in teams, they're welcome to join the audience for either or both events. They're both great learning opportunities. And that's really what the GLP is about, giving you as much learning opportunities, as much engagement opportunities as possible from which you can benefit. And I would also stress at this point that anyone who comes to Smurfit can join the GLP. It's not aligned by any program. So if you join your program, yes, you'll get to know the people doing your particular program, whatever it is, being project management or marketing or supply chain. So you'll get to know that cohort. But by joining GLP events, you'll be mixing with a much wider student community. And so it's the whole great socializing opportunity as well as the professional skills benefits of the program. So that's the competitions. There's also various committees that students are invited to apply to join. The list is there. You can read it. It's quite self-explanatory, really, from getting involved in social media to organizing competitions to getting involved in poster design and promotion. There's also a finance group, which is our in-house simulated investment fund. In fact, my next slide is on that, actually. And they've got a virtual $1 million invested. And then the group that each year manage that fund. They decide whether to divest of shares and then buy new ones, etc. Just manage the fund. And that's something which a lot of our students like to get involved with. So in short, there's a range of things you can get involved with in terms of groups and committees. And then this is a screen grab of our of the investment fund a few months ago, actually. So it's doing rather well, but it does give the whole simulated environment. So it's as close as possible to the real investment fund. It even has an in-house marketing team as part of the group. So we're trying to make everyone as workplace ready as possible by giving them experiences which are as reflective of the workplace as possible. We also have various other projects where we engage with businesses outside of the business school. Quite often, one of the big ones are Proudly Made in Africa projects, where we have a number of teams engaging with actual African businesses, which are small or medium enterprises. And the student team then comes to understand the challenges of the business and then advises them with the support of an academic mentor. And again, those teams are drawn from all different programs, so deliberately mixed, deliberately cross-program. So this and other opportunities are all listed in the periodic announcement emails, which come to you if you're on the mailing list, and then people can then sign up for stuff that they're interested in. We have various guest speaker events. There's two examples here. One was a lady talking about how you can develop your personal brand, how you yourself are a brand, how you can promote it in order to get a job, and then how to then, once you've got a job, how to manage yourself well in the workplace as a brand. And the other talk here was more on AI, which is becoming very, very topical at the moment. And we really are trying to pivot and give as much content related to AI as possible. This is a lady who's starting a business which is focused on utilizing AI for child psychology support, which is a very exciting area. So we try and get a range of interesting speakers to come as well. We also have workshops of various sorts, from entrepreneurship workshops to leadership masterclass workshops, which is illustrated in this slide here. And this workshop, for example, is a full day workshop, which you can sign up for. It's run several times. We have plenty of places. And that's all about understanding your strengths and weaknesses and how you will best fit into a team, and how an effective team is a team made up of different people with different strengths and weaknesses. That's very exciting, very insightful session, and highly recommended. So that, yeah, that's sort of typical of the various workshops we offer. There's also various opportunities to do sort of volunteering, both within the business school or within the UCD more widely, like at the UCD Festival, or around Dublin and further afields like beach cleaning, etc., which can be a good way to socialize as well as to get some fresh air and to have something which looks good in your CV. It shows that you're willing to get out there and do things and engage. It's all about really helping you build your profile. Um, Obviously, many people will be applying for jobs, and you want to stand out. So we're helping you find reasons to stand out. One of the things we say is you bring a narrative to an interview, and we're trying to help you embellish and enhance that narrative. That's what our co-curricular program is all about. And the last thing, I think is my last picture slide here, yes, is GLP mentoring, which is a big and important thing we offer. I think Laura has already alluded to the fact how well established the business school is, and therefore we have a very large community of alumni, many of them now quite senior in different organizations. And so we have a few hundred of those alumni willing to engage each year with the school and to, on a one-to-one basis, mentor one of our current students who's participating in GLP. And that gives you, like in this picture here, that student there who has particular program alignment and particular professional aspirations. We've tried to find from our alumni pool an experienced mentor who is in that professional area that that student is targeting. And then that mentor can then come in and, on a one-to-one basis, over several meetings, give them some guidance, ranging from CV guidance to interview preparation to company landscape guidance, especially for people who are not familiar with Ireland. That can be very useful. And so the mentoring program is something which many people apply for when they come on GLP. So we're trying to offer as many places on that as possible. But really, this is just to give you a flavor of what GLP is about. It's what else can I say? Yeah, I've already mentioned it's not unassessed. There's no obligation. There's no commitment. You can sign up and do nothing if you wish. Obviously, there's no charge for it. If you're a student coming to us, then free of charge. If you wish to, you can join GLP. It's included in the package if you wish to partake. Um, Gosh, in a whirlwind tour of the curricular program, I think that's pretty much, I think I've covered most of the bases and hopefully have given you a good flavor of it. And obviously, Laura's given you a very good understanding as to the range of programs we have on the curricular side, and the processes for applying and gaining a place on them. Now, Carol's coming back in here now. I don't know if there are any questions,
Yeah.
Carol. I'm happy to answer. I'm
Yeah,
I'm sure
we
as
have a
well.
couple of questions, but before, well done on your insightful uh, explanation about, the Smurfit School of Business to Peter and to Laura. I think what you've both covered really showcases what makes the Smurfit School unique from other Irish institutions. And as a result of that, I think that's the reason why we receive thousands of applications from participants all around the world. And our school is truly global, not only our student population, but also our academics. So
Mm.
UCD is very global, and we want our students to get that true international exposure as well. And before I just delve into the questions, I just want to point out that Yola Marr, our international liaison officer, will be hosting a lot of moving to Ireland webinars in May, in June, in July, and August. So you're welcome to keep an eye on our website. Our website is really comprehensive. We'll do everything to make sure you have all the information that you need. And then on top of that, Laura covered everything brilliantly about the application process. So it's really important to say at this stage, we're coming near the end of our recruitment cycle. So, my advice is, that you submit your online application to us as soon as possible, because a lot of students will go away on their J1s and come back and then realize, oh my God, the courses are all full. So before you go off on your travels, I think it's very beneficial to submit your online applications and make sure that you secure your place. And I think that's very important to say as well. The questions that are coming in are about the scholarships. So we have a very comprehensive website. At this stage, some of our scholarships are already closed, but we do have a lot of different type of scholarships. For example, regional scholarships, Aspire scholarships for the Irish students. We have MBA scholarships. So my advice is, again, the website is so user-friendly and very comprehensive. So some of the scholarships you don't need to physically submit an application for. There is one scholarship that's already closed. It's called the Global Excellence Scholarship, and that's already closed. And then we have other regional scholarships as well. So keep an eye on the website. Um, what other questions? So one student was asking about academic and professional references. Can you upload these as part of the application process? And the answer is yes. Having said that, if you have your academic and professional references, do upload them. We take a holistic view when we're reviewing the applications. We look at your CV, we look at your letters of motivation, and we also look at your references. Even though they may not be mandatory, many of the students upload them. So I would say yes, upload them along with your application. And again, Laura has covered everything about the application process in great detail, but the website is very user friendly. I've also posted the UCD Smurfit admissions email address, my email address, Laura's email address, and Peter's email address if you want to reach out to us. And then what other questions have we got? Let's see. I think that's really it. Oh, one question was, can online participants on the online program gain access to the career development team? And the answer is yes. And I think that's it. So I think you guys have covered everything brilliantly. Not that many questions coming in, unless you want to quickly shoot in a couple of additional questions. I think that's it. Yeah, no, I think that's it now. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to any offer holders joining us. And I do think, Peter, what you said is so true. The Global Leadership Development course is really unique to the Smurfit School. Our career development team, what they offer our students, and the calendar of events is just amazing.
Mm.
And I do think, what you said, Peter, about, it's a free of charge global leadership development course, has proven to be, which has grown exponentially year on year since we've launched it. But
Yes.
also the fact that the participants, when they go out to a prospective employer, it's hugely beneficial. And like you, I am a big fan of the Global Leadership Program because we used to really only offer it on the MBA. Now it's offered on, all the MSc courses. It's free of charge. And also the career development team. At the end of the day, you know, if our students do very well after they graduate, our rankings and our Financial Times and QS rankings are ultimately affected um, by the student's salary and their careers 1 year post graduation and 3 years. So that's why the Smurfit School, we have the history, we have the expertise, and we want to have a win-win situation for our graduates. So in turn, we will automatically continue to maintain our excellent QS and Financial Times accreditation, and also our AA, CSB, Equius, and AMBA accreditation as well. So that's it anyway.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the webinar, and thanks, Peter and Carol, for your great insights too. And hopefully, we will see you in September if you are joining us. And if you have any questions, as Carol said, please do reach out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye
Thank you.
bye. Bye bye.